Welcome back to the Print 3D channel. Today is March 11th, and that means day 70 of the 3DP 365 project. And on today's episode, we're going to show you how we printed out this cool headphone stand, so stick around. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me here for day 70 of the 3DP 365 project. If you're unfamiliar with the project, check out the description below. I put a facts section down at the bottom that'll give you all the details. And don't forget to check out that MatterHackers affiliate link. If you're in the market for a new printer parts, or if you just need some filament, use that MatterHackers affiliate link down in the description. It kicks a little bit back to the channel, it doesn't cost you a penny, and we really appreciate it. But for today's episode, we printed out the cool headphone stand. And for this print, we used MatterHackers PRO PLA in the color of green on the all-new gMax 1.5 XT+. I figured it was time for a very practical print, and when I opened up Thingiverse, right on the front page was the MakerBot headphone stand. And this is a very practical print because it gives you a convenient place to put your headphones when you're not using them. And our print turned out pretty awesome, and I'm anxious to show you the results. So let's head over to Thingiverse and I'll show you where to download the model. Then we'll tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the print. Then we'll fire up some of that time-lapse footage and I'll meet you guys back here at the workbench. Alright, so here we are at Thingiverse. Here is the headphone stand by MakerBot, and I'll put the link down in the description so you can download and print this yourself. And as you can see, this thing's been collected quite a few times, and there's some few makes on it and some remixes even too. And it has been tested with a couple of different models of headphones, but I'm not too worried. I think it's pretty much a universal headphone stand. And I do like this design too. This is very cool. It all prints in one place, and it is fully 3D printable. So that's very cool. So this is a very cool example of practical printing. So let's tab over to Simplify 3D and I'll show you my settings for the print. Alright, so here we are in Simplify 3D, and I've dropped the model down on the print bed at 100%. And I want to show you one little thing about this model. I did have to reset the position down just a little bit, because the angle that this prints on is just so extreme on this bottom here. And I was really worried that some of the printing would be actually just printing in air. And I'll show you when it slices what I mean here. So let me show you my process settings. Under layer height, we did a 0.2mm layer height with 4 top and 3 bottom solid layers and 3 perimeters. We also ran a skirt at 8mm from the object and 4 outlines. For infill, we used 15%, and we did not generate any support material. For temperature, this is MatterHackers PRO PLA, so my two temperatures are 205 and 208. And under cooling, we have our 3-stage cooling system set up. Under speed, we ran this out at 50mm per second. So let me hit OK, and let's hit prepare to print, and I'll show you that really extreme angle that this prints on. Alright, that was a real-time slice, and let me get in here real tight to this front end here, and I'll show you that it kind of prints in air. There's really nothing to be supported on. I mean, this is a really steep incline, so you can see here on like layer 2 that's basically there's no support underneath that layer, and 3 is kind of the same, 4 gets it, 5, 6, it kind of makes its way up, and eventually it does get enough support to print. And that's where I had to give it a little bit of an assist during the print stage. But if I play this through, you can see that it is one continuous print. This is one continuous piece. This is an awesome model from MakerBot, and it's perfect for a headphone stand. So let's speed this up to the end here. And as you can see, these final pieces here, the legs, they print out separately. And our print turned out pretty amazing, and I'm really anxious to show you the results. So let's fire up some of that time-lapse footage, and I'll meet you guys back over at the workbench. Okay, so that was a cool little bit of time-lapse footage, and here is the finished headphone stand. And I'll put some close-ups in at the end like I always do. But this print turned out pretty awesome. I'm really happy with the results. My gMax did an amazing job printing this too, because it basically prints like this, laying down, and these legs print out separately. And it's very smooth, the finish is really good, there's no layer skips, and there's no layer shifts, even for being such a tall, thin model like it was, and it didn't curl at all. But like I showed you guys in Simplify 3D, This steep angle here that MakerBot put on this, that was pretty rough. And I did have to assist it a little bit with my little spatula and keep that layer flat. But after a while it caught up with itself and it ended up being flat, and it just kept printing and everything was fine. And everything about this print turned out awesome. Even the MakerBot logo turned out really great, and this MatterHackers PRO PLA in the color of green was the perfect choice for my headphone stand, and my gMax did such an amazing job with this print. But I guess the real test is, does it hold headphones? And I just happen to have a pair of headphones laying around, so let's check it out. And sure enough, it works. This is a very practical use of 3D printing. Well, that about wraps it up for day 70 of the 3DP 365 project. I hope you found this episode interesting and informative. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share those videos, and join me again tomorrow for the very next episode of the 3DP 365 project. This print turned out really awesome, and it's a very good use of 3D printing for a practical purpose.